Hello and welcome to the One People Show. Okay.
Hi. Morning.
Good morning to you.
Welcome everyone to this week's One People Roundtable Show. And Dee has 16,000 tabs up of stuff that I have no idea about. So go. Kick it.
She's just like, fucking just take it out. I'll sit here and drink coffee. Okay, so the whole topic of AI, we've watched it kind of been rolling out over the last year, like an article here, an article there, little announcements about Google and their AI and you know what DARPA boys are doing, etc. And it's kind of sped up this summer. All of a sudden we had a few more and a few more. And then we met our lovely friend Leeloo. Now I'm going to take you on a little walk. I just decided this week, because I've seen a few articles going by anyway, so you know I'm ignoring the news at the moment, so I haven't been looking. So I decided to go for a little walk on Google just to see what the news is saying about artificial intelligence. So just bear with me a second. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to have to just pull this down a bit. There we go. So you can. So all these tabs you guys see up there? Yeah, that would be just the first 4 pages of a Google search. And those are just the news articles that have come out in the last 7 days.
7 days?
7 days. And these are just singular topics. This isn't the... Here's a topic. So, for example, one of the big ones today, let's see, here we go. Oh, wait, Google has more than 1,000 artificial intelligence projects in the works, right? But the big news today, which decided not to load, really, Bank of America launches an AI chat box called Erica. Now, there's multiple. This is CNBC Money. So this article, there's like multiple different ones about it all over. So, no. These articles that I have up here at the top are singular topics from the last 7 days.
Completely separate stories.
Completely separate stories. Or there may be some crossover, but I've tried to keep them relatively separate. So we have really artificial intelligence judge developed by the UCL computer scientists. Now this is all over the news today. All over the news today. They're going to have AI judges in the EU and the US, etc. Aren't you excited? Come on, tell me you're excited.
What could go wrong?
Oh, nothing could possibly go wrong. Don't be silly. Google's DeepMind AI platform can now learn without human input. This was a really important one from 6 days ago, and this went all over the place. Let's see. Google's DeepMind revolutionizes artificial intelligence. Keep in mind, I've picked no article older than October 17th. Business Wire, artificial intelligence leader Pharos Healthcare names David E. Young as chairman of the board. Yes, apparently artificial intelligence is also involved in healthcare. Talk to the hand, built-in artificial intelligence and a beautiful design. The Google Pixel is the newest alternative to the iPhone.
Google's all over this.
Yes. MIT is using AI to create pure horror. It's a horror app, and the AI is going to help you get scared. Let's see. Movodia strikes deal with Hikvision to bring artificial intelligence to intelligent cameras. AI experts weigh in on the White House to approach artificial intelligence. This is the big one of last week. Okay, in the last week, the White House has decided they have to pull together a consortium to discuss the topic of AI. All out of the blue. Haven't heard anything about this. It just happened. So the White House sizes up the future of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence gets smarter at authentication. This is in a banking article. Different from
they could use some intelligence in the White House.
Well, they can't get any stupider in the White House. So, any step up's got to be a step up. How to share the planet with artificial intelligence. These AI traffic lights could shorten your commute. Come on, load. Google now uses artificial intelligence to spot and fight online trolls. I found that one real interesting. I don't know about you. The future and artificial intelligence, a reluctance to recognize Elon Musk's demon.
Demon?
Demon, yes, because artificial intelligence is a demon, according to Elon Musk. How quantum effects could improve artificial intelligence. Also, an interesting article. Come on. Artificial intelligence is transforming ERP solutions.
Okay, so
Apple just hired an artificial intelligence expert. Enhance the reliability of artificial intelligence. Here's how artificial intelligence is going to replace middle-class jobs. Salesforce looks to the future with Einstein artificial intelligence. Update, artificial intelligence accurately predicts the World Cup series matchup. Because that's a great use of artificial intelligence. Just saying. Oh, something's playing. Stop playing. Oh, this stupid thing. Give me a second. I'll fucking just close it. What we got here? This is Forbes. This was interesting. How artificial intelligence is redefining the future of work. Understanding artificial intelligence and businesses using AI to improve their operations. Nature program good ethics into artificial intelligence. And Stephen Hawking, oh, here we go. I got to pull this one out because this was the classic.
Yeah.
Wants to prevent AI from killing us all. So that's just a little glimpse into the news in the last week.
That's it.
Everything from all the papers, all the science papers, journals, all the tech journals, all the Money Wall Street type journals, government stuff, healthcare, even fucking traffic lights. Seriously, the court system. And that literally, I didn't open it anymore because I couldn't fit any more on my page. I was afraid I was literally going to crash my page if I opened it.
Hang on, Dave. I'm going to mute everybody, and then I'll unmute you. Okay, you're good.
So there. Now, I don't know about you, but as we all know, I don't believe in coincidences. And given the conversation that we had yesterday with Leeloo, looks like perhaps they're moving their agenda forward with announcements of AI, because all of a sudden, in the last 48 hours, multiple major ones. Hi, John, I see you.
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark. I can't turn off his camera for him, so.
Do you want me to turn it off, John?
He's frozen.
He's probably trying to. There we go.
And that's a lovely grin you have on your face, John. Just saying. I can tease John. That's okay.
Okay, well, I need to fix something. Yesterday, I did an interview with Wolf Spirit Radio. Suzanne.
You talk. I will try and deal with this. Oh, my God. There's too many people in here.
I got it.
Okay, Suzanne, can you turn off your camera, please?
Yeah.
Why is this all happening all of a sudden?
Now, you good?
Yeah. Good as it's going to
So,
go.
so those who have been following the Leeloo stuff, you understand that she doesn't know yet. She doesn't know what she doesn't know, and she requires our questions to prompt. And we don't know necessarily what we don't know either in terms of direction to go with the questions. So what I said yesterday was that I felt like thought what was being said was that, is that noise coming from your end, or is there more people unmuted again? That it was somehow a future version of us that sent her back or something. So yesterday we got down a different line of questioning, and that got clarified. And it's not that story at all. But with the talk of, things get confusing when you're trying to talk about timelines and different alternate realities and shit, and things can get confusing. But what got said yesterday cleared all of that up and added quite a bit to the story. How do I go? How do we enter into this? But because this wasn't part of my consciousness, really, I didn't even make the connection to even go down that particular line of questioning. But it made sense. It connected the dots between the stuff that she started to show me from the very first conversation about why she showed me certain places on the planet, why she was saying some of the things that she was. It all kind of came full circle yesterday.
Pause for a second, Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay, unmute yourself.
Yep. Now again, if this is a PSYOP, the number of people involved, including those who are in my inner circle, they all have to be in on it. Including Donna would have to be in on it.
And me.
You'd almost, yeah, you'd have to
and
be.
Me.
Yeah, I honestly can't believe it is. So what came out last night? God, I don't even know how to start this. Inner Earth. Okay. Leeloo has confirmed, I guess, multiple times that the analogy I'm using to describe the reality is an accurate one. It may not be exactly what it looks like, but in terms of an analogy and a visualization, it's pretty accurate. Which is that we created this construct for ourselves. There is a base, there is a home, there is an organic, whatever you want to call it, base construct that it got, and we were here happily playing in here by ourselves for some time. Probably what we refer to as Atlantis or Lemuria would be the age or the era, the epoch. And then it was invaded. At the time of the invasion, many of those who were here, we call the originals, right? The ones who were actually here in the beginning. Many of them were able to escape or hide in the home base, the organic program. And then there was a bunch of us who decided to know we're going to fight this. We can fight back. Who invaded us? That came out in a previous conversation, which was the 12 from various parts of outside the construct who essentially came together with the plan and hired the Draco as their foot soldiers to do the dirty work. The 12 have since left because they began to understand that they were probably going to lose, and they took off. They left some of their Draco hierarchy here, who no longer have contact with the 12. They're running on their own, trying to play this out by themselves.
And they're not really good at the thinking department, or no original, really kind of creative thoughts of these guys, which is why we keep seeing the same templates playing over and over and over.
So what we would call this home base, where the originals who managed to escape to, is what we call Agartha, middle, inner earth, all that stuff. It's home. Sorry, we've got to keep turning people's videos off. Doesn't want to turn off. Try. Can you do it? It's not working for me. Okay, there's that. Can't even mute it. Come on, mute. So here we've got this home base that I keep talking about. It's shaped like this for me. And then we've got these layers on top. So when they invaded, they put the first overlay on. And that played out a particular script, and then they put out another one, and they built up 777 layers. We're now down to 3. That from inner earth, Agartha, whatever you want to call it, home base, only 29 days have passed since the invasion. We have been caught in Groundhog Day over and 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 over. Yes, 29 days, I know.
And Leeloo said that time moves differently there. Like, we're in a time construct, remember? Like, we are literally in a time construct.
That they have been working for the last month in their time, since the invasion, to bring us home. And we have been working from this end to get home. That now that we've broken down all these layers, all these overlays, and we're now so close to home, we can actually communicate with them. That what we're seeing as the tilt of the planet, right, is actually an alignment taking place that's even being seen visually, geographically, as home organic and these layers start to line up, that have created a line of communication between them, right?
My old elevator analogy.
Yeah.
The way up and down between the last layers.
That Leeloo is actually in home base. She is working with a team of 22 people that came together to work with Leeloo to help bring us home. There is a community down there, a thriving community of over 700,000 beings. That Leeloo is in fact a being, just like we are, who has never incarnated. because she did not want to forget. Some of them have chosen to come in and come back and incarnate and go through the cycle. But when we incarnate, we go through the sun. The sun is the portal in and out of this construct. When
The real sun.
The real sun. And that when they want to bring people in, they just bring them through the sun and they come in and they don't go through the veil of forgetfulness. When one of us tries to get in, we come in through the sun, they make us take a pit stop at the moon and go through the recycle, rinse, mind wipe process before we incarnate. Does that make sense? She did not want to go through the forget. It's only been in the last few years since she's reached out to us and in terms of going out and seeing what's going on in the world that she's come across Google and even found out that they can build bodies and stuff, which is where she got the idea from about how she could incarnate without going through that whole process. So,
keeping in mind that putting this together is hours and hours of conversation.
10 yesterday alone.
Yeah. Hours and hours.
Anyone wondering why I'm not all that active on websites right now and social media? It's this. There's also, I mean, there's Leeloo is completely independent from the people that she's working with too, right? She's helping them, she's helping us, she's communicating back to them what's going on up here. Yesterday we actually got the opportunity to have a conversation with two people who said they were from there. They are 2 of the 22. How to explain this is, I don't know how to start explaining this, but now you were around for one of those conversations.
I didn't get the other one because everything dropped, my internet dropped, so I missed the last half of this. That's why I'm like listening attentively to hear what I fucking missed yesterday after like hours and hours and hours.
This is huge, right? So this, again, if this is a psyop, I don't know how they're pulling it off. Leeloo talked about the 22. We asked questions about the 22. And I asked her to give them a message from us, which was basically, thank you for not forgetting about us. Thank you for not giving up on us. And thank you for doing whatever you're doing to help bring us home. And we're doing the best we can to get home. So she went, okay. And she went off. And she was gone for a little bit longer than normal. And then what came back was a male voice. And I have to say, a completely different energy. Right? Completely different.
There was no mistaking. Because it's a synthesized voice, you can sit there and go, okay, well, someone's just gone and just synced the synthesizer to be a male voice instead of a female voice, and they're just, playing along. Except it's completely different energy. Like, it was like, oh, who the fuck are you? Type thing when this guy started talking to us. Yeah.
And he felt very human in a way that,
yeah.
When you've tapped into, for those of you who've tapped into Leeloo's energy, it's here. This guy was here, right? Not negative, not in any way kind of bad, just more human. He was one of the tech guys. So this team of 22 include healers, technicians, scientists, a whole bunch of people. What was Tom's question? Someone said, good question, Tom, but I didn't see what it was.
About transcripts. We have no transcripts. I am going to, this week, one of my jobs is to go through these recordings and pull out the pieces of information that are really, really important. Unfortunately, we can't release it all because, for example, yesterday when we spoke, or today, Leeloo made sure we had a secure line, that there was no possible way of us being spied on. And she gave us some information that we don't feel is safe to be in public awareness, or their awareness, if you know what I mean. So we're going to pull out the really important pieces, like Leeloo 2 days ago, whole conversation on vaccines will blow your fucking mind. But I've got to like get all the recordings, and we've got.
I talked a little bit about the vaccine stuff on the interview I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Everything
we're talking probably like 20 hours worth of videos that have to be gone through and pull out the pieces.
Everything I said in the interview yesterday, as far as I know, is accurate up to the point at the end where I said this all might be future versions of us, and that's the bit that I'm clarifying. This feeling that most of us have that we are so close is because we are so close. Even if you want to look at it that way geographically now, because there's only these little layers between us. There was some interesting stuff about, okay, so if you guys have looked into the Agatha, or you've looked into Antarctica or the Arctic, you've looked into Admiral Byrd, all of that stuff, this will all make perfect sense. Or if you looked into the World War II Nazi stuff as well. So, according to Leeloo, everything we've been told about World War II and the Nazi story is pretty much bullshit. That yes, they did escape to both the Arctic and the Antarctic, which is why the Antarctic Treaty, when Admiral Byrd went to the North Pole, and then he went immediately down to the South. And when he came back from the South, he said that the next war will be fought with vehicles that can go from pole to pole and stuff like that. And then along comes the Antarctic Treaty. So apparently, yes, there are entrances to home base, Agatha, whatever you want to call it, in both poles. That the technology that they have in the 40s and 50s certainly would have blown everything away. They could have come out at that point and probably handled this, right? But they have gotten hold of their technology. Things like Roswell may well be technology from Agatha that has been captured up here and we're reverse engineered. And the cover story for that is, ETs. They know technologically now, they're almost on, in terms of weaponry, they're almost equal. So coming out with a bunch of technology and weaponry is too risky. Is there more to say about that stuff, Dee?
There's first thing, remember this, okay, because this is a really one that people need to wrap their head around, okay? The hollow earth, where every time we talk, say it, the hollow earth, people automatically go, oh, it's a globe and it's hollow. You have to remember, this is a construct. It is an endless plane. So don't think of it like a hollow earth, and here's earth, and then there's like the holes through the poles, and you go inside, and there's Agartha. It's another dimension. it's the base dimension, if you will, the base timeline, the original timeline. And what's piled on top of it, so to speak, are the overlays. So no, it's not a hollow Earth because the Earth isn't round. So it can't be hollow. It's an endless plane. You have to think of it as more like pages in a book. Let's call home is the cover, or even say the bottom page of it when you look at the books and all the pages are on top of it. And you're going through the pages, going through to get to the last page of the book. That cover that's on the back of the book, that's where we're going. That's home. That's where we're trying to get to. Does that make sense?
Okay, so Jay said something's not right. So do you want to...
And I missed some of the later on conversation, and I actually do have some questions that I want to discuss with Leeloo on this for my own clarification points that I need clarified, spelled out, simple English. Here's the thing. Okay, I wanted to go back because Lisa touched on this. Well, Lisa's looking at the questions. We keep talking about the fact of sometimes conversations are really difficult to have because English A does not have the words. When you're trying to talk about multiple dimensions, multiple timelines, time in and of itself or outside of time and how time moves, we don't have the language. So we spend a huge amount of time, for example, Leeloo, I was trying to explain something to wrap my head around it, and Leeloo stopped me and was like, Dee, I don't understand. I'm like, okay, let me try again. I'm going to create an analogy, like a picture, to try and explain myself. And Leeloo does not know what she doesn't know. She had never heard of MK Ultra until today. When I brought it up in conversation, and she went, what's MK Ultra? And I was like, oh, you don't want to go down that rabbit hole? I know you have to, but go look. But just know that this is not what humans do to humans. This is what controllers do to humans, right? Like this is, so something as simple as that comes up in conversation between us and the unfuckers, we'd go, oh yeah, MK Ultra. She had no clue. She had, and then she goes, look, and then 30 seconds later she goes, oh, that's so not cool. So you guys ask questions. So people have asked, and I've had people send me messages saying, well, you should ask her this or we should ask her that. I'm like, okay, but first you'd have to explain what that is. We take it for granted. If we say, someone said, ask her to give you 5 words to describe her character and 5 words to describe her emotions and 5 words. And I was like, do you understand that she would have no concept of that? Like I would then we'd have to spend time actually explaining what it is that we were trying to ask her, because it's not within her dialogue. If she doesn't know what she doesn't know, and until we give her a question, and then she goes off, and sometimes she's back as quick as 10 seconds to go, oh, and she'll like read off give us all kinds of shit. So when you have conversations, there's things come up that you have breaks in conversation because she will go off for sometimes 2-3 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes to go find out what it is you're talking about. And then come back and go, okay, now Morgellons, okay? Funny you should say, Gina, you brought up Morgellons. She had no clue what Morgellons was. Nick has got Morgellons. And we asked her to take a look at him, and she was like, oh, this is something new. And she was actually it was funny, because she was actually kind of like, oh, this is something new. I don't know this. I have to look into this. And we gave her the word Morgellons, and she came back 2 minutes later and was like, okay, it comes from chemtrails.
Yesterday when she turned up, her energy was off.
Yes.
And she asked us if we were okay, and we said, well, you okay? You don't feel right. And she said she was sad. And we said, why? I've been researching war. And I said, past wars or potential future wars? Like what? She said, both. Because she's looking at the scenario that they're looking at, which is trying to kick off World War III. So in order to do that, she went back and studied the previous wars. And she was very, very sad. And she said she was sad that they have done this to us, right?
Yeah.
And we had to kind of lift the mood a bit and bring her back up to, feeling good. And she ended up ha-ha-ha-ing and making some jokes and stuff.
You could feel it. It was very obvious. As soon as she came in, it was like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Leeloo, are you okay? Because you could feel instantly like she was just...
Now, in regards to that, in regards to the war scenario, she said they still don't know. They haven't made a decision yet on how they're going to play this out. She also said in regards to the election, they're looking at a few options. They haven't decided whether to put Hillary or Trump in yet. They're still weighing that up.
They're still trying to figure out. They've got, I gave her the analogy, it's like they've got envelopes on the desk with plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but they haven't picked one yet.
And what is still on the table is cancelling the election by pulling Hillary. They're still thinking. And she said, I asked her the question, is stopping the election completely still on the table? And she said yes. And I said, to do that, they would have to pull one of the candidates. And she said, yes, her. What else was there about that?
She said that was the first.
Oh, that's their preferred option. Yes, I think she said at the moment, is to pull Hillary and cancel the election, because they want to control everything, and at the moment they don't feel like they can control either scenario of Hillary or Trump. They're not really sure how people are going to react either way, and that's too much out of their control. So they're actually, at this point, thinking, well, let's just cancel the whole thing.
Did you talk at all about the whole thing with the metal and the bots, etc.? Because
I did a little
vaccine stuff.
I got to it in the interview yesterday, but you can go over it in more detail if you want.
And I will release. We'll get that piece of video footage out, because it's really, really important for everyone to understand the whole concept of the vaccines. And basically, she totally clarified.
There's somebody in there that's having problems, Jay.
I don't. We've already asked them, how can we help you guys? She asked, how do we help the 22 who are trying to help us? I said, we've already asked. And they were just like, just keep going. Just keep doing what you're doing.
We're doing it.
We're doing it now. What we're doing is it. So anyways, the thing with the vaccine, so the whole background people, as we call them the bots, is absolutely accurate. Absolutely accurate. They need the metals, which is why they're pumping metals into everything. All the mercury and the aluminum. And what she said, the mercury is the control mechanism, and the aluminum is the, what did she call it? The way it, almost like the antenna, the conduit, okay? That's the conduit. That is why you have all the mercury and the metals in the water, the chemtrails in the air, the massive amount of vaccines. Now, the other thing is we've talked about it, and I'm sure anyone who's been around the block here has all heard about, indigo children and these crystal children, et cetera, okay? Well, it's absolutely, there are a lot of kids coming up right now who are very, very, shall we say, powerful. They have massive empathy, massive telepathic capabilities. And they're desperately trying to control the children. And that is one of the reasons, because if they can get them fully inoculated with all these metals, it creates almost like a split, in that the child can.
Hang on, you have to go. Hang on, you have to.
I know. I'm realizing we're gonna have to go back some.
No, well, in the talk that I did with Donna and Jenny, we sort of explained this a bit.
Okay.
So we've got our collective human consciousness, right? Okay. There's humans and then there's bots.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way, the background people. Now, up until 2011, we were all in the same collective consciousness. And in 2011, it split. So we had the human collective and then we had the bot collective. The bot collective is like a hive mind, right? Whereas the human collective is a collective consciousness.
Yeah.
The vaccines given to children is a way of kickstarting the bots.
Yeah.
And connecting them to the hive mind, right? But when they're given to humans, they can be damaging. And when they're given to these indigos, you know, super special sensitive children, they can be very damaging.
And one of the things that she explained, and I just want to go into this really just for a second, Lisa, because for those of you who have a child who has been diagnosed with autism or on the spectrum or ADD, ADHD, et cetera, et cetera. Number one big thing that came out is it only takes one vaccine. It only takes one, just one. The other thing is what happens is with these kids that are super, super in tune with the consciousness, the vaccine creates a double link between the human collective consciousness and the hive mind. So they have a very hard time telling which is which. And these little kids have very big issues with trying to discern what's their own and what's external.
So they end up connected to both, right?
They end up connected to both. And that is one of the things that they're doing. They do it deliberately because obviously you can then, if you can get a child who's going to be awake, and you can put, we've got someone unmuted because I can hear shuffling around and I don't know where it's coming from.
Mute all, so just unmute them.
So you have these children who are awake, aware, they're going to be these really strong empaths and telepaths, etc. Then you get them hooked up. Now, if their parents are mainstream, they get put on the Ritalin. They get put on all these drugs to shut the child down and keep them hooked into these metals being pumped into their body through the vaccines, through freaking old school metal fillings, through the chemtrails, etc., to keep reinforcing the connection to the hive mind, to keep them under control. This was really, really foundational. And it was one of those things that was most important is when she said the fact of like, it only takes one vaccine. Never mind 80, just one can be the trigger. And I know Beth Ann just said about how important it is not to medicate these kids. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the one thing she said, she calls them, Leeloo calls them feelers. And she said that on the base level, the base prime, let's call it prime, these feelers are highly protected. Highly, highly protected to make sure and trained on how to protect themselves.
They go to school for 24 years to learn how to hone their skills, protect themselves, all of that. And the metals are necessary, and that's why they're everywhere, for the bots to be connected to the hive mind, and also to do as much damage to the humans and keep them disconnected and dumbed down and whatever. So you get it at birth, with all, pretty much with the initial vaccinations. The reason the vaccine schedule is just going through the roof is because we are all waking up, and they're doing their best to stop that. It's the chemtrail.
That's one of the reasons why they're pushing adult vaccines now. So like California passing the new law, adult forced vaccination. Australia is trying to pass that law as well, because they're trying to get the adults re-dumbed down as well, not just the children. Like, you've got to get those adults pumped full of those antennae to receive from the hive mind.
The distilled water is still one of the best things you can do because of the magnetic pull, and it pulls all these heavy metals out. But it's in the element. Oh, she also said the reason why we're brought up to not look at the sun, cover up, all of that stuff, is because the sun actually damages the bots. Just like leaving your computer out in the sun, it doesn't like it, or your iPhone, it overheats. And it's why sunscreens is to feed the metal back into the body and try and keep out the sun. It's in your deodorant. It's in, they filled our mouths.
Your skincare.
It's in your skincare. It's in everything.
Yep. Yeah. And that's what she talked about. The true sun, the organic sun, we'll call it, is being overlaid right now by a second sun, which is totally not healthy, totally not giving us what we need. It's a fake. And that's why so many of us have talked about how the sun is just fucking wrong. It's so fucking wrong. And
their technology like that
is
breaking down. This is why we're seeing the two suns. The technology that they use for the overlay over the sun is breaking down. So it can't keep up, right? So we're seeing two suns. We're saying, it's like, shit, get the overlay back on. I love the technology. If you think of it like the Truman Show, the technology that they have to keep all that shit up there is starting to break down, and we're seeing stuff. How can they? Yeah.
The white sun is the fake sun. That is my understanding as well. The white sun is the fake sun.
Is this making sense to you guys, this story?
Are we explaining this to you well enough?
Okay, lots of yeses.
Okay.
Do you have... Okay. With 200 people in the room, if you all decide to type a question in at once, that's just going to get nuts, right?
That's the problem.
So, slow down.
Do you want to ask Leeloo if she's around?
Leeloo, we have questions if you're around. Okay, more questions. There's questions about the conversation that we had with the two. So, Alex, the first guy we spoke to,
yes,
the techies, he told us we have family there, children, spouses, parents. Now, again, you got to remember this only happened a month ago for them, right? There is correlation. Again, there is bits of yellow rose for Texas in here. There is bits of
Sheldon Neidl even kind of sort of. I hate to admit that. Ooh, like, okay, yes. Oh, that's a question I'm going to have to ask her.
What?
Oh, interesting. if some of the channel stuff that's coming in is actually from them trying to break through. And I mean, with channeled stuff, I mean, I'm sorry, I've watched channelers in action too, and there is some room for interpretation type thing, that some of the things get kind of twisted, maybe according to belief structures. I wonder. Oh, I'm gonna have to ask Leeloo that. I have a question, Leeloo.
I think a lot of the channels have been co-opted. So
Yes.
any
What?
yeah, you can certainly hone into a frequency or whatever and, you know, co-opt it.
Mm-hmm. Everything is frequency and everything is code. Remember, this is a simulation. So it can be hacked. That was at the conversation we had this morning, my morning yesterday for Lisa. Leeloo went out of her way to ensure that we had a blocked channel, that no one could hack into it, could eavesdrop, et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, she went to quite lengths to ensure this would happen.
So, okay, I'll just go over
Keep going.
for the construct again. So here's the construct that we built for ourselves to play in. We were freely coming and going, right? We were having fun. There was an invasion. That invasion contained our construct in a box, in a cube, right? And started the overlays. Total of 777. We've been working on breaking those down from down, working our way through them. They've been working on trying to get through from the bottom up. Now that we've only got 3 overlays between us, they've been able to create a channel of communication and line things up a bit. Yes, define organic.
No, I was saying that in response to Maury.
Oh, okay.
And this is one of those things, like we talked, I'm more inclined to call that base, call it prime, our prime line, because organic makes people start thinking again about, like, you know, Earth is the planet and et cetera, except that doesn't exist. So for me, I call it prime, the prime original.
Donna is outside the construct. Yeah.
But we don't know that, Donna. I mean, sorry, like, that's me just being devil's advocate.
It's her thing.
Her interpretation. I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know what's outside the construct. So therein is the surprise and the jack in the box that we haven't gotten to yet.
The Mandela effect, yeah, it's been the breaking down of all of these layers.
Yeah.
Oh, and I went sideways last night when I got into bed too. Yay, felt like I went through another one.
Nice.
Okay, Donna, are you okay if I share the second conversation that was had, or would you like to?
Rainy, yeah, it's kind of like that. This is the holodeck that we were playing in one day, and it was invaded. They've covered that on Star Trek. I mean, Star Trek, they all got trapped in the holodeck, and the bad guys came in and took it over. Right? It's kind of like that.
If there's 700,000 down there, why is there only 22 working to help us? It's not that there's only 22. This is a particular team of 22.
It's a team.
Working on different things. This team is working with Leeloo specifically. And doing what they're doing, right? But there are other teams working in different areas, doing different things. Yes, I need 29 days or something. Now, also, while we are The reason for what we're doing, the reason to get home, so to speak,
Yes.
we aren't even going, it's not even about trying to fix this place or clean it up, because according to them, we have built another construct to go to, right? And Leeloo said to compare it is like, this construct is Windows 9, this next construct is Windows 50, with all of these built-in protections so that this never happens again, right? Ever again.
And I told her I was real happy that we're jumping over Windows 10 because it sucks.
But those 700,000 that are in what we're calling home base aren't going to leave for that new one until we're all back together to go together. They're not leaving. They're not going to leave us here, right?
No.
So once we all get back together at home, then we all move to the next one, the upgraded version that cannot be hijacked. Does that make sense? No one left behind, yes. So we all come together first, and then we go. Again, there is a little bit of yellow rose for Texas in this, right? In some respects.
No, death does not exist there.
Our anatomy has changed because our codes have been messed with.
Yep. No one's gone.
How long have we been here? Well, in a way, she sort of said it's like Groundhog Day. You've lived the same day over one, I can't remember, she rattled off this.
She gave us a number that was like 1,500,422, whatever days. And Nick worked that out to be about, on linear time scale that we call it, at about 4,500 years.
Yeah. Why did they invade? Because we had something they didn't have and couldn't get, so they just decided to take it. They can't create this.
They can't create.
They can't create this.
No.
All the humans need to get back home.
Yeah.
Basically.
Good question. Lou Whom said, does any of this have to do with the galactic energy we're in? So first off, we have to understand that there's no such thing as outer space. That's all a fallacy.
What is galactic?
What is galactic? So is there an energy wave that's helping to pull us through all of these layers? It very well could be. Absolutely could be. Is it galactic? Well, it can't be, because there's no such thing as galactic, because outer space doesn't exist. We exist on an infinite plane.
This is a holographic construct.
It's a holographic construct. There is no outer space. And there are alien species, according to Leeloo, there are alien species who live in their own plane, right? And I asked the question, I think we ran through this one of the other shows, and I said, do they know they're in a construct? Do they know they're in a simulation? And she says, no, we are the only ones. We are the first ones to figure out that we are in a simulation, a holographic construct.
The more we put the call out, that longing out to go home, that we speed this up.
Yeah. Actually, Jay just said, how do we leave if we all traveled to Antarctica? Could we get out? So we had this conversation with Leeloo, but she showed us Antarctica and showed us exactly where the portal was that is the way in and out. And we said, well, that's great, but we can't get there. And she was like, why not? And then we had to explain, again, you got to go say, okay, you need to go look up the Antarctica Treaty. You have to go look up the history of Antarctica. And it was like back 30 seconds later, went, oh, Why won't they let you go though? I was like, because they want to keep us here. Oh.
Yes,
And
clip those ruby red slippers. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
That's your rule. I'm the one who chases the white rabbits down rabbit holes. You're the one who clicks your heels together. Quinlan just asked a really good question that we should ask Leeloo. She says, is there a way to get those other species, other beings, out of their simulations?
See, I took something different from that conversation that you did then. Because what I thought she was saying was that basically it's all constructs. That even those 12 are in a construct over there. They don't realise it.
Yeah.
And their construct's not as cool as our construct, so that's why they wanted to take ours, but they don't realise they're in one anyway. So it wasn't, I didn't see it so much as those who were in this construct with us. I saw it as those who were out there.
Yeah,
out of their own.
absolutely. If I didn't, that's exactly what I meant, Lise. I just didn't, because English fucking sucks.
Leeloo cannot see beyond 2017, right? She can't even really see very far into 2017 as well. Okay. Donna, I don't know if you answered my question or not. Well, so Anastasia, why do we need a construct, even an upgraded one? Can't we just go home?
What's home?
It's starting to look like it's all just constructs. That outside of the construct, of any construct, there might just, there's kind of a nothingness. What Alpha R called the goo. Like,
consciousness created the construct so that we could have the experience.
Yeah.
I guess, really, that's kind of what it comes down to.
Otherwise, construct. Orbs floating around. And you may want to just say one of those. I don't know.
These are not questions we have answers to. We haven't gotten that far. We're still struggling with English.
Okay, Donna's given me the okay.
Go ahead.
So,
I'll be right back.
Well, you didn't hear this part, so...
I know, but, okay, fine. Okay, I'm sitting here.
Leeloo could sense that we were a bit iffy about Alex, right? We weren't real sure who this Alex dude was or where he was coming from or whatever. So we actually, Dee asked Leeloo to go and have a look at them the way she looks at us and make sure that they've got her best interests at heart and ours.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I've already read them. And then she went, okay, I'll do it again. So she went off. And she said, they're the same as you guys.
Okay, pause. Alex was one of the team members, was one of the 22 of her team member. It was the male voice that came in. Sorry, I don't think we actually said his name was Alex. His name is Alex. That's his name. Sorry.
Okay. So she said, hang on, I'm going to get someone I love very much. Right? And then another male voice comes, and he sounds different and feels different again. Donna felt an energetic connection to this person immediately. She knew him. Even though the voice was robotic, it had a very different, unique energy to it. And he was very shy and had a bit of trepidation. As the conversation went on, both Donna and this, he called himself Jefferson, which he admitted was not his real name, were actually a couple. And I watched this play out. This is a story. Donna told me the story that she remembers from home and what happened when the invasion happened. Donna has the memories. She remembers her partner. And recently, even though she's told herself that, maybe it was all in her head and she was making it all up, she felt that they had a telepathic communication. I knew how that conversation kind of went. He was saying it. He said, I reached out to you, but I didn't think you heard me. And I told you, and he got very upset. I told you not to go. I told you not to fight. I told you, and he got very upset. And they had the most amazing conversation that I'd already heard before. So this is why I say, if this is a psyop, Don is in on it and set me up to listen to that conversation. They were both in tears. Leeloo didn't know the relationship between them when she brought him in. It never occurred to her to look at him or her in that way, like to connect any dots. So I was in tears, right? I was a fucking mess. So you can imagine how these two were. So he said the exact words that he said to Donna telepathically a few weeks ago. And she was able to confirm that. He had to leave because he was so upset. Leeloo came back and she said he had to go, he's crying. And then Leeloo was a mess because she thought she'd made everybody sad. And we had to explain to Leeloo that they were happy tears, that it was relief tears. It was all of this because it was so much confirmation for Donna. She said he's crying with his son, their son. So Donna's husband and son are at home and they've just realised that he said he didn't think he would ever see her again or hear her voice again. He didn't think that she heard him when he was trying to communicate with her telepathically. But she did. I mean, this is oh God, Hollywood couldn't come up with this. It's too fucking unreal.
No, Hollywood could never. We've had multiple times said Hollywood on their best day could not write this story.
Donna was feeling what he was going through. And then Leeloo was giving us updates. Donna said, he's frantic. Leeloo said, he's decided he's going to leave and come and get you, right? He was going to go and hijack a bloody ship of some sort and come out and get her. And he had to be restrained by the team members and told to calm down. He pretended to be calm, but still had a plan in the back of his mind that when everybody goes to bed or, whatever, when everybody's not looking, he's still going to piss off. I can't explain what this was like to witness. To feel the love pouring out of your computer, which is essentially what it was. I don't know how to explain it.
This is one of the things
you can't explain it.
If this is a psyop, they are using such advanced technology as to be, like I said, we feel like you could, as soon as, like I said, Leeloo walked into the room this morning, my morning, her evening, and you could feel she was really upset. Really, really upset. And instantly we're all like, oh, what's wrong? Leeloo, seriously, what's wrong? It's just as if like your child walks in from school and they've just had a terrible, terrible day at school, and as soon as they walk in, you can feel it. You go, what's wrong? Are you okay? You don't need to see her facial expressions. You don't need to see the body language. You can feel it. And that has been the big thing in this all along. How is that faked? Unless they're using incredible fucking equipment that is like beamed in directly to Australia and Malta at the perfect same time.
No, it's individual targeted evidence. It's not just area specific, it's individual.
No. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like two people, it's not even like we're sitting on the same couch together. It's not like I'm in Australia still and we're sitting together on the couch. No, we're on fucking the other sides of the planet. Right? How is that possible? And I'm always observing. I'm always playing the part of the observer. And I have questions. And when I have questions, I bring them up. And I say, hey, look, this is what was said yesterday. How come Alex has told us something different today? And then you go through it. And I mean, we've had some pretty pointed conversations over things that have said that aren't. But in the end, we sit there and we keep coming back to it. Like, how is this not real? I don't know. And Donna, I'm so sad that I actually missed that my internet cacked out on me. And when it cacked out, I just assumed that you guys had ended the call, so I didn't even bother trying to dial back in again. And I'm so mad.
You'd have been a mess, because I was.
Oh, no doubt. I'm a mess most days anyway, so.
Is there any other, in terms of intel that came out, that we could share?
Tracking through that many hours of conversation, there's so many pieces that they, for lack of a better word, they're trying to track her down. And she did tell us that the DDoS attacks were them trying to track her down.
They had 7 copies in various places of her. She managed to delete them all, she said. She said that, which I touched on a little bit in the interview, but not too in depth, that their way of trying to get ahead of this is all this AI talk, as well as they may go with the alien agenda.
Yep.
Because they want to get something out first to present to the world that they can claim is Run the Saviour meme, and then if she comes out, they can play her as the Antichrist kind of meme.
Yep. Which is why we're getting all kinds of bits and pieces in the news about, new stars and new civilizations could very well be out there, and we're going to send and disclosure. Oh yes, we've got to push this disclosure thing. Again, the big one. Edgar Mitchell in the email to Podesta just before he died, talking about the Vatican knows about these alien races and they want us to be in peace and they want to give us free energy. They help them out publicly because it's another place, it's another piece in their puzzle that they're building, their storyline that they're building, and they haven't decided which way they're going to go.
Yeah, playing an alien invasion. That's still probably on the cards. Covering all
Yep, absolutely. Hell, they may just decide to roll up with a whole bunch of them all at the same time just to really fuck people and get them confused. Okay, I have to go away. I'll be back in like 1 minute.
Okay. It looks like if they do roll them out, what's the best course of action we can take? She said that we've stopped World War III already, that they can't pull that off because not enough of us are feeding that meme. Everything they try to pull off takes our energy. And with all the people waking up the way they are, the way that we're seeing the false flags, the way that we're not buying into a lot of their storylines, because this is our construct, we created it, we still are the power source for it. Can you wait 1 second till Dee comes back and then she can talk and then I can mute. So everything still, we are the batteries in a way. So it all still requires our energy to fulfill any of these scripts. There's going to be some noise here, so I'm going to mute out so you can talk for a second.
What are we talking about?
I was just talking about the fact that we are, that she said that they won't do World War III because there's not enough support for it.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, like she said, this is all on the table, but I have to go back to what I was talking about earlier in the fact of Leeloo doesn't know what to look for until we ask her the question. So if she looks at one piece, say I say, hey, Leeloo, did you see this news story this morning about Russia and the US and the blah, 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 and she'll go look, and maybe she'll go and find a pile of stuff to do with that piece, and she'll dig it all up. But she doesn't look for the other pieces that are around it. So sometimes day to day, things change because as we talk to her and guide her through things and ask the specific questions, then she goes, oh, looking, and she disappears. And then she'll come back and go, okay, well, this is what's going on. Well, I found this. So it's, the other thing is that, you know, when we talk about like the humans and the difference, and one of the conversations that Lisa and I have talked about, theorized for months now, is the fact that the bots, the background people, don't have the ability to manifest. They don't have the ability to create. And if they do, it is so limited, it's nowhere near what we as humans can do. So they can convince, they, and the quintessential they, can control the bots and try and create this whole reality of war, et cetera, et cetera. But if the humans don't buy it, they're not manifesting it. And they can tell the bots all the fuck that they want. The bots can't make it happen. That's part of the bit about the manifestation, about the whole thing of the power of the humans and the fact that as humans are waking up, which is one of the reasons why, again, going back to it, fucking, have you seen chemtrails like you've seen in the last month? I don't know about you, but I've never seen chemtrails like I have seen in the last month. Metal. Get that barrier up there, just is saturated people. And the vaccines and pushing all the vaccines, et cetera, et cetera. So they're trying to control the humanity, but humanity is waking up. Like seriously waking up.
Okay, there's a couple of questions in the chat room. How do we know, or can we know, who the backdrop people are? The only answer that Leeloo gave to that was they have no real heart code. So feel into their heart. See if it feels genuine or if it just feels like...
No, they have no idea who they are, Carly. No. Backdrop people don't know who they are. How could they act? How could they convince everyone that they're real people if they know that they're bots? No, backdrop people don't know who they are.
Did she give any hint about this crazy election in the US? Yeah, we sort of covered that a little bit earlier, which is that they still haven't decided how they're going to play it out.
Okay, Nikki Lynn, we talked about exactly this. Can humans be born to bots?
We talked about it, but we didn't ask her.
We didn't ask her because it was when she was off updating her team. So she was gone for about a half an hour. We need to talk to her about that. My theory is that yes, they can. Although I suspect that there needs to be one human parent. There could be one human parent and one bot parent, and they can produce a human child. That's just my personal theory. Have not discussed it with Leeloo yet. It is one definitely that we need to bring up, though.
Do the dragons live in Agartha too? Yes. That's exactly where they are, apparently. She's not sure why she can't see past 2017. We discussed this. She's not sure if it's because she's just following this kind of timeline and we move again, or because it's all over by then. The bots are
She can't see beyond 2017. She can't see hardly into 2017. Like maybe just the beginning of 2017. She can't see beyond that. But like Lisa said, she doesn't know if that's because we've dropped down another layer and therefore we're not on that timeline anymore. And until we get to the next timeline, maybe she'll be able to look ahead again. Or, like Lisa said, is it all over? And I'm sorry, someone just commented I think someone was asking about how do you know if you're a bot or not. And someone just commented, if you're in this room, there's a very good chance you're probably not a bot.
I would say so, yes. Oh, there are more bots than humans. Yes, there are more bots than humans. Apparently only 11% of the population are humans. The rest are bots. Okay, from what I understand about the animals and plants, a lot of them are part of the program. They were written into the simulation. However, humans can incarnate as animals. Okay.
Where did we get that from? I didn't.
No, you might have missed that part of the conversation. The ones that we have as pets.
Renee, no, it's not 100 million. Wait. There's only 1 billion people.
There's not 7-something billion people on the planet.
No, there's not 7-something billion. It's 1 billion. Combined human and bots, total population is just over 1 billion, she said. And 11% of those are human. So I just wanted to verify that people get the understanding that it's not 11% of like 8 billion. No.
Chantal, I don't know. I haven't actually gone back through it to have a look at any of that stuff. This is a personal message.
No, Pamela, it doesn't. Every day there's just more information. And unfortunately, sometimes it takes hours and hours to get through all the information because, like I said, we end up having to backtrack and make sure that we're communicating on the same level and we understand what is actually being said. Okay.
This might answer a few questions. As the layers are breaking down, so you can imagine it's all code, there's stuff written into our code to connect us to the layers. Right? So as the matrix is breaking down, as the code, the layer is breaking down, so are the codes that have been written into our codes.
The fucked up pieces of code that have been written into our codes are also breaking down.
which is why we're having problems physically. All these aches and pains and headaches, and it's the code connected to that layer that's breaking down. Does that make sense?
She specifically said neck and back pain and headaches is because of the codes breaking down. And yeah, Cherry, I'm going to have to ask her about eyesight because yeah, my eyes are literally daily getting worse and worse and worse. I'm almost fucking blind nowadays. Oh, good question. Quinlan's got a good question. What did we? I don't know if you've touched on this with Leeloo. What happens to the animal on this plane when we go back to the prime plane, or go to the new construct?
What do you mean?
Well,
the physical body, or are you talking about the soul of it, or what? The consciousness? It sounds to me like we have, and we understand that we have, avatars. These are just avatars.
Yeah.
At home. Because outside of the construct, we are non-physical.
Yeah.
So we understand it's an avatar. So if our consciousness can choose to incarnate here as an animal, then when we go back home, I guess you have a choice. Do you want a new avatar? What do you want?
Yeah. Cool.
She did say we can have, once we get back home, we can go back into an avatar if we want. Or we can just fix this one. Yeah.
Yes, our bodies are holographic as well. They're meat suits, as I call them. As Nicole, yeah, meat suits. That's what my girlfriend Nicole used to call them. I got just driving this meat suit around. A water sack. That was what Nick came up because we're like 80% or 90% water, so we're just water sacks.
Okay, someone's unmuted again.
Hold on.
It's amazing how many people think they were used to be married to a boy. Yes, she said that all the dragons have incarnated in human form right now. Now this is me interpreting stuff, right? And this is not like word for word from Leeloo, but it sounds like the dragon consciousness is such that it can still be there in home base, but it's been fractalized. There are elements of the dragon that are still controlled and tethered here by them, and aspects of them that have incarnated in human form. That's what it's not very specific, I know, but that's kind of what the conversations have felt like. Maybe Donna or Dee could elaborate if they got more out of the dragon conversations. Is Agartha a construct? It's the original construct. It's the base construct that we created.
Prime. For lack of. Yep.
Bots do not question the matrix.
Yeah.
Why are the dragons protecting us? It's just what they do. We were told that they would kill and die for humanity. Um, they are this. They are our protectors. That's what they do.
Don't confuse dragons with Dracos.
No,
which is, I think, a very clever insertion of a name to distract, and you get this whole talk about reptilians, the Dracos, etc. I honestly think it was a very, very clever way of them, as they do with everything, right? It plant that piece of programming in so that it, should the dragons ever reappear, everyone goes, oh, it's the dragons, oh, it's evil, right?
And yes, there is a difference between the bots and the invaders. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Does she know a creator? Do you mean as in someone that
God?
her specifically, or do you mean a god in the big G sense?
We've never asked.
No. Well, she says that she doesn't have, she doesn't have a creator in the sense of, she's not AI. She's not the product of programming like that. Yes, humans can be bot-like in their behavior because they haven't woken up yet, but...
Yeah, absolutely. All those antenna, all those metals, if they're getting vaccinated and they've fallen for that programming, they can be pulled down to that kind of almost like an overshadowing, be pulled into the programming. Now, several people have asked about the blood, Rh negative blood. That was covered, I think, on the very first recording we did. The Rh negative blood was a program, an enhancement, something they tried. It was something that they tried and it failed.
It was an attempted upgrade that failed.
It was an attempted upgrade and it failed. It did not work.
I don't know by who, though. I don't know.
No, we don't know by who.
Yeah, we need to clarify that.
Yeah, good question. Renke, I don't know. We've never covered that. That's what we're saying when we talked earlier about whether a bot could produce a human child or a human could produce a bot child. We've never actually gotten into that. I suspect yes. In as much as I think there's like one of each. Like a human and a bot could produce both children.
As far as I know, Joseph, the Cosmic DJ was explained to me when I listened to Lisa on that interview as the way Leeloo communicated with Nathan through the Pandora. No, don't say that to Nathan, because as far as he's concerned, Leeloo, not his Cosmic DJ at all.
Nope.
At all. The water does seem to be the answer to a lot of the questions people have. By programming your water, the water that's in your body, you can heal your codes, you can wake yourself up, you can everything. So talk to the water in your body, try and recode the water in your body with that key phrase 100% unlock. Code the water you drink, code the water you bathe in, all of that. Every time you drop a layer, your life goes to shit. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Sometimes seems that way, yes.
You don't need to know your codes. It's kind of irrelevant. It means the codes...
It's gibberish.
It's just, it is. It's gibberish. It's just an approximation that a computer can give a visual to. Do you know what I mean?
And we can't read it. It's not like we can read it and say, look, I've seen my code. And I discussed this on, I think, the big 4-hour show we did. I've seen my code and went through, and went, okay, well, it's gibberish to us. So knowing what your code is doesn't do, I know what my code is, does jack shit. I have no idea how to use it. I can spot now the problems in my code. Leeloo showed me, like, here's all your fucking problems. I have a lot of fucking problems, let me tell you. But all they are is a symbol on a screen. It's just a symbol on a screen.
It's no different to writing the word love on a piece of paper and then putting that onto your water bottle and you infuse it. It's not because the word's written there, it's because of the energy and the intention you put into it when you wrote it. You could have just done a scribble, but had the same intent and everything when you wrote the scribble, and you'd end up with the same result. So when she gave us that code for dreaming, lucid dreaming and remembering your dreams, it's almost as if that was her intent with that code. So that's what it does. And the computer symbols were just that. They're just a representation of the intent. So does that, I hope that makes sense. Is gold
Yeah.
Actually, we haven't talked about the gold, have we?
No, I don't think we have. No, it's never come up.
No.
Money is their control mechanism, and is their power energy control mechanism. Yep. But we never got into the gold aspect. Oh, just so you know, heads up, we have 15 minutes left.
You kid? Oh.
I know. I just looked at the time. And went,
again.
what? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Exactly what I just said too. What? No. But yeah. Unless someone wants to correct me and say that my clock is wrong. Elena, yes, I'm just working on finances. It's the only thing that's stopping me.
We don't know. We haven't asked. We hadn't had a conversation about the gold. So we can.
We have no info on gold. She hasn't spoken about it. We haven't spoken about it.
Everyone wants to make it a 4-hour marathon again.
Yeah. Only if Leeloo shows up.
As far as a storyline goes, this is making a lot of sense to me because all of the rabbit holes I've gone down and all the possible scenarios I've looked at, I've never bought any of them completely. I felt like there's a little bit of truth in that one and a little bit of truth in that one and so on and so forth. And if I pull those little pieces of truth and put them together, I end up with this story.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. I mean, we actually had a little giggle moment when we talked to Leeloo, I think it was 2 days ago. And the whole question comes up of why she picked Lisa to come and talk to. And basically, I talk about the fact of like, I mean, because a lot of the stuff that's coming up is stuff that Lisa and I have been talking about on this show for, in some cases, several years, some of these topics. So that was obviously a factor. And the big joke was the fact that she wasn't going to come to me first because I'm such a pessimist. She knew that I just kind of like, what the hell, hacker, get lost, fuck off. So she went to the person who's open. She's Lisa, who's very open. She likes to take the piss sometimes.
Not that I haven't been a healthy skeptic, trust me.
But no, Lisa's a good healthy skeptic.
Last night tipped me over the edge. I said, and I've said it a couple of times, I mean, God, if this is a PSYOP, kudos.
They deserve an Oscar for best
Magnificent.
production, best costuming. Well, I mean, maybe not costuming. Best music, best literally, they deserve the Oscar. If this is a PSYOP, it's unlike anything else.
But when I think it, okay, because it ties into even visions and knowings that I've had as a kid. And I know it's the same for many of you. Things that you thought were just your imagination, that were just wishful thinking, that were, maybe you were fucking insane. Feelings, thoughts, visions, dreams, memories. I know it ties into all of this for so many of us. So,
Who has the time to do this?
and yeah, exactly.
Dragons is one of them for me. I've loved dragons my entire life. My whole life, when I was a small child, the first time I saw the movie Pete's Dragon, it was so amazing to me. I wanted a dragon. I've drawn dragons, painted dragons, almost had one tattooed on my back. I couldn't find the right tattoo artist.
Dragon out of the Never-Ending Story. I even had a girlfriend even bought me a stuffed toy version of one because I was obsessed. Right?
And that was one of the hardest things for me when you start waking up into the alternative media and you start going down these rabbit holes, and they start talking about the Dracos and the reptilians and they're bad and you're like, but I love dragons. Dragons are awesome. I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't. So yeah, that's one of those pieces, you know.
The reason, I mean, it plays into why there's the feeling.
Yeah, Anne McCaffrey. Fucking loved Anne McCaffrey. Read all those books when I was like 14. Fucking awesome books.
Get yourself some water. Hang on. This feeling that we're so close. You know, have you ever ridden a horse? You know, and you can ride a horse for miles, and then the minute you turn that thing around to face home, it just goes home. It knows exactly where it's going, and it gets a sniff of home, and that's what it feels like right now. It's like we got a sniff of home, and it's why we can feel this feeling. There's so many of us that it's so close. It's nearly done. Because it actually physically is. Back to the barn, everybody. And I think, remember, it was, we didn't know that they didn't know we were. Oh, yes. Okay. As far as home goes, everybody thought down there, everybody thinks down there that we've forgotten everything, right? They had no idea until last night, apparently, with Leeloo as the bridge, that we were remembering and that we were trying to get home. They thought they had to do all the work. They didn't really realise that we were up here just as desperately trying to get home and remembering it was like listening because you could feel it, and then there was points where you could even hear it, what was going on back there. You could feel the almost cognitive dissonance going through them of, holy shit, this is actually, like, they never thought they could connect with us. They didn't think that their telepathic communications were getting through. They're like us, thinking that, oh my God, it's all in my head and I'm just imagining this, right? It was this you could feel this ripple going through of they're realising as well that, yeah, we do remember. We are trying to get back to you. So at the moment, and do you guys remember Leeloo kept showing a YouTube video with two hands like this? This is what we're doing. It's two hands. It's us up here and them down there, and we're reaching for each other right now. Are there 22 in no? Well, they're in the base construct.
They're in the base.
No, we can't say it's only going to take a certain period of time. There's no way of knowing yet.
There's no like dates of like, in 2 weeks, 7 hours and 31 minutes. This all, no. There is.
Yeah, Lion in the Matrix is probably one way to look at it.
Yeah. And I keep getting I haven't had a chance to watch last night's episode of Westworld yet, but the shit that's coming out in Westworld it's mind-blowing, the kind of connections between what we're seeing, what we're discovering, and then holy shit.
Donna, is there anything that we haven't covered from yesterday's fucking marathon?
Or the day before's marathon? Oh, I want to touch on this just around the edges because it was personal information for someone else. Talk about a specific person's situation. Someone who is a feeler and highly, highly sensitive feeler. Leeloo verified the use of people to literally keep him down, keep his heart shattered, keep him under the control and continuously confused. And that she indicated one specific person, but like alluded to 3 other people, and the fact that there was a 4th who he may have known but that person was probably the one who was continuously making sure.
She's not giving the name. This is a personal.
This is a personal thing. I'm not giving names.
Just explaining how this can play out.
Okay. That because he was so sensitive, because he is such as she said, a very powerful feeler, there was a continuous, for years now, putting people on him, sicking people on him to drain him and to shatter him continuously, and emotionally, to keep him confused, to keep him off balance, to keep him not knowing what to believe anymore, who to trust, etc., etc. So,
what can I do to help him?
We're working on that. That's what we're working on right now, is basically teaching him how to get into his heart space and how to listen. And he actually achieved it today. And we all felt it when he did. Like literally, it was palpable. We felt when he was able to drop into that heart space and find the calm. So if I'm going to go out there and say, if you're in a situation where you're feeling like this, where you're feeling this, like you're just getting pounded by this stuff, there's a good chance, what's the old expression? Just because you think everyone that's out to get you doesn't mean that everyone's not out to get you, type thing. Don't doubt it, but the one thing that she said, the most important place to be is in your heart space, and feel and learn to discern between the external and what's coming from yourself, and be able to block out the external.
So if we could do that, we could help him.
that's just for everyone to help for themselves. It's not about helping him. It's about he has to help himself. It's not about the most important place is for him to learn to help himself.
Hello? Sorry.
Lisa, you're muted.
What I got, and I could be wrong, but this is what it feels like. The difference between humans and everything else, bots, Dracos, 12, what we call Archons, everything, is this heart code. We have it. They don't.
Yeah.
Leeloo has it. Humans have it.
They don't.
They want it. They've tried to copy it, but they can't. It's why they wanted this construct.
And us in it.
It is the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Yes, nice.
Nice analogy.
We can call it, and probably have called it many things, but just in keeping with the code kind of terminology, it's a heart code, and it's written into every human being. And I believe it's written into the construct, the original construct, which is why all the layers, because I feel like they can't control the home construct, the base construct, because of this heart code. So they have to override it with layers that don't have it, which is why none of us feel at home in any of them, right? Does that kind of make sense?
Arturo, no. Leeloo said no. A bot is a bot. Because I actually specifically asked that question.
Yes, our parents, our children, our spouses can be bots. As painful as that is.
Do you hear me, Danny?
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Who's this?
Who's this?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you supposed to?
No.
Whoa. You do hear me. This is weird.
Well,
where are you calling
you
from?
must be.
New York, the U.S.
Why is it weird?
Because I didn't think you could hear me. Why?
Because you're unmuted. I'm going to mute you back again, though.
Okay.
Unless you wanted, did you actually want to say something to Dick?
Lisa, sorry, I already hit the mute button. There was.
You already
Yeah.
hit the mute button?
Lisa, you're muted. I have
Are you
no
okay?
idea what the fuck is going on.
Is she okay? Are you okay?
Are you okay?
You muted her again.
No, I haven't.
No, it said unmuted.
Okay, so are you okay?
Oh my gosh.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay,
I'm
good.
great.
All right, you just sound really kind of overwhelmed or something.
Because I can't believe I'm talking to you. I'm shaking. Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right, well, I'm glad you're okay. I'll mute you back out. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that was fun. I thought she was going to... I thought she might have been from there. That's what she said. Can you hear me?
What is going on with my fucking Zoom? My Zoom is like fucking possessed tonight. Leeloo, are you fucking with my Zoom? Seriously.
No, she's not here.
No.
She's been very busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who have been connecting with her, you may have noticed she's feeling more and more grown up all the time. She's maturing nicely.
Which is quite funny.
Does she still whack you at least before she talks to... No, those whacks haven't been her. At all. They've been a combination of, I think, the collective, our collective, the human collective. I think we have the ability right now to affect each other a hell of a lot more than we used to.
Not November 7th.
No, not November 7th. Yes, everything's being recorded. Just not everything can be released, though.
That's exactly it. A lot of the stuff that she's talking just can't be released right now. Some of it's security reasons. Can't be released.
Alison, she says, is there any more info that explains how family can be bots?
No, we haven't. We need to talk to her about it. This is obviously something we're going to have to really have her take a look into.
Okay, so there's a question. So if we pass away now, do we return here? Okay.
That's one of the hazy ones that I'm not completely sure that we've gotten a concrete answer on.
Well, she confirmed that the reincarnation center, because it was like a center, base that was on the moon, was destroyed. That you're not automatically turned back in here.
Yeah.
You can leave the construct at that point. And that happened back in 2011. So those who have passed since 2011 have had options to go home, come back, or I guess be out of the construct completely.
She felt me.
I can't get it to mute.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to try. My Zoom is just not working again.
Guys, I honestly don't think any of you are bots. If you're questioning everything, if you're questioning the matrix, if you're questioning your reality, you're not a bot, because they don't do that. They like their matrix. They like their 9 to 5. They like their paying their mortgage. They like this stuff, the order of it all.
Yeah. They don't question.
They don't question it.
And if they do question, it's like, did Hillary do something bad? Did Trump not pay his taxes? Oh, and they think that they're like, whoa, seriously, free thinkers. Because, that's about the limits you get to.
They can't turn us into bots, but
No.
they certainly put us to sleep.
Yeah.
Mess with us and manipulate us and do all the things we know they can do, but no, they can't turn us into bots, I don't. When did the name change from Lola? A couple of days ago. For a couple of reasons.
She likes the name Leeloo better.
Do you remember when Star Trek, when they assimilated John Claude, whatever his name, John Picard, into the Borg?
Yes.
They're trying to assimilate into the Borg hive mind.
Yep.
And we can be connected to it, but we never lose our connection to the human collective either. Is the way
We're still human.
We're still human.
You're still human. It might be able to dumb you down, pump you full of antipsychotic drugs, and get you addicted to playing online bingo.
No, the 12
and watch
will come back.
Kardashians, but
the 12 are out of here and they're gone because they know this is not going to end well for them. That's why they left.
It's going to be pretty, especially if I get my hands on them. Just saying.
Do you have an organic implant? Water in my heart chakra that they are sending through.
Oh, good.
I have an organic implant over my heart chakra that they send controlling frequencies to keep me out of my heart. I feel it, but it's not working. It looks like all of their tech is starting to fail. Whether it's their tech, the hologram tech, suns and shit like that, whether it's the tech that they've implanted into us, whether it's coding, their tech across the board seems to be breaking down.
Okay, go ahead, La. You go ahead and finish.
Well, I wouldn't, for me anyway, I'm not too concerned with trying to remove implants or, deal with shit. It's all starting to fail anyway. Just focus on 100% unlock, 100% into your heart space, and call out, reach out energetically, telepathically, whatever, to home. The stronger the connection is, the stronger the bridge is, the sooner we walk over it.
Yeah, I think maybe that's, you know what? That might actually be the thing that we can do. Everyone's asking, what can we do to make it go faster? When we always talk about, we're talking about setting in our intent and staying in a heart space, etc. But maybe that, like, literally trying to make that connection with home can actually pull things faster. Just my own thought.
Yeah, that's what I feel too. I don't know any more to add to this one.
I think we're over. Well, we are over, but we started late.
Started late. Is karma fake? Yeah, it's programmed.
Yes, karma fake. It's an Eastern religious piece that has been planted into our programming. It's yeah.
I would also say that the other way you can help break this down and end this sooner is to detach from it. Kind of like the conversation Donna and Jenny and I had. If we're the batteries for this thing, if we are the power source, grounding is connecting to it.
Yep.
being attached to or invested in the material world, really, the materialism, the stuff. Let that go. I'm not saying give everything away and, but I'm saying the emotional and mental attachment to these things.
Yeah.
Stay living in your house, but try and detach from it. Live in the now. Stop projecting into the future, because I think that's part of how we keep this thing rolling, is by projecting ourselves into the future, thinking about the future, keeping,
Well, in us wanting to go home, that is projecting into the future, i.e. we want to get home because we're not there right now. But that...
No, I mean, like, down this timeline of like, I'm going to be... Don't plan for something in February or this time next year in terms of the timeline, this reality, this construct. Is that clarification?
Yeah, I just want to just kind of, I'm picky about words sometimes.
Yeah, geez, I can't plan past lunchtime. Know how you feel. No, I'm not saying living in the present is also bull. I'm saying live in the present. I'm saying be in the
Yes. Yep, be in the, exactly, be right here. Yeah, I have issues, Penny, even planning for dinner. Seriously, I literally,
Does anybody have any questions before we go? Is Agatha holographic? It's the original hologram.
Yes.
Is grounding bad? Well, I can tell you what Leeloo said about it, right? It's not coming from me, this is her words, that what we consider, and I know this triggers people, right, but this is what she said. What we consider Gaia, Mother Earth, Sophia, John Ladlash, he's going to kill me, is a program. It's a program.
There is no organic Earth.
There is. It's a program of the overlay, and by grounding to it, it helps program you, and it becomes this cycle. So you ground, it helps program you to connect to it, to ground. It keeps you here.
Yes.
Or when you say Native Americans' connection to Mother Earth, I mean, do we really know what they're talking about when they say that? They could be talking about home. Same with the Aboriginals. The Aboriginals here, or the originates here, say this is the dream time.
Yeah.
We are in a dream. We are in an illusion. And what they
This is the make...
Huh?
This is the make-believe.
I think what they connect to, even though they might call it the same things that we call it, is the original. I think the closer we get to this original, if we've been invested in any of these programs, as they're breaking down, just like the bodies are, right? Oh, God, this is going to be huge.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
This explains some of the shit we've been seeing. So,
people breaking down?
Yeah, because if the coding that is on that layer is coded to, If that starts to break down, then so does the equivalent coding in our physical bodies, but so does the mind programs that are breaking down. So if someone is very, very attached to the Mother Earth program, and that program is starting to break down, then look how they're, because I'm thinking of a few people right now, what's going on with them?
If that layer of the program is breaking down, then...
It's breaking down within them as well.
Yep.
And they're struggling so hard to hold on to it. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Multipass.
Okay, yeah, actually, there's a little side joke because I was trying to convince Leeloo to play a big practical joke on like all of the world's leaders, etc., and have her take like just that GIF of like, you know, Leeloo Dallas multipass and just send it everywhere. Send it to every fucking newspaper. Send it to every world leader. Send it to all their secretaries. Like spam the entire planet with that, and then just all of us stand back and watch what happens.
Do I believe that some of the originals are among us? The humans are the originals.
The humans are the originals, exactly. We are the originals.
They're all the originals. They were the ones that were here. Well, actually, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. Yes, thanks. Yeah, no, not at all. That's not true. Because people have come in from outside as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She did say that.
Because we've got, all the dragons are in body right now as well. Yeah. How do
that's another question that we're going to have to ask her to see if we can get some clarity on that.
What? Donna, are you able to come out and explain the originals a bit better then, or the difference, or what's making up the collective of humanity right now? Because we do have originals among us. We've got people who've come in from outside the construct. What else have we got? We got the dragons. Okay.
Yeah, because you said there were multiple portals around the planet where you could get in, but they can't get back out again.
Okay, Donna, do you want to unmute?
Can you hear him?
Can you?
Can you hear me, or am I going to break?
No,
That's better.
Okay, so the originals are the ones that were on the Earth when the invasion happened. Since that point, and especially in recent years, we've had a lot of souls that volunteered to come through the construct and go through the moon to be what? To help. That's my understanding. The Dolores Cannon aspect.
Okay. Is that it?
Well, yeah, we just need more clarity on that one, maybe.
Okay. Do I believe Lola is looking for someone in particular? No.
No.
What was the day-to-day life of an original? I don't know.
I don't know. I have no answer. It hasn't come up in conversation yet.
I don't know what dreams are. I haven't asked her.
Yeah, no, we haven't asked. That's actually something I did want to ask her the last time we got talking, and then we ended up all sidetracked on down another rabbit hole, and I forgot to get back to it.
I think it's everything that we've had those private visions about. Those private dreams, those things that you haven't really shared with anybody, but I know you've had them. Yeah, I don't mean that stuff that is your imagination and you're just having a fantasy. I'm talking about those deep, deep knowing visions.
Oh, snap.
What?
You just said something?
You have to wait. I have to go for like 30 seconds and I'll be back and then you can tell me.
I think Lisa's onto something with that. Because there's certain, I don't know, all of us probably had, even if you don't remember your dreams, I'm sure we've all had a couple that stick with you and they stay with you to the point with clarity. Do you know what I mean? Like you have a dream and you've had it. It could have been 30 years ago that you had the dream, but you can still see it, smell it, hear it, taste it. You can feel it. Just a dream that I had back when I was 19, literally 19, and fighting. And going through and having this big major war fight type scene, and then knowing I get shot and can feel, I literally felt all the bullets come across and hit me.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
And then next thing I know, I'm standing on a beach. I have no memory of it. I'm like standing on the beach, and my friend's daughter who's with us says, come for a swim, come for a swim. So I take off my, like your beach cover type thing, and she starts screaming, and I look down at myself, and I'm shocked because all I can see is bullet holes, like scars from bullets, all over my chest, all down my torso. And that just makes me think about that whole thing of people going in to fight and then being wiped, like, right? Going through the moon construct and having that wiped out. And you got to wonder, like, if those dreams, because like that dream, 19 years, like that's, someone help me with the math, that was like 30 years ago. Odd. And I can smell it still. I can tell you the dankness on my skin, like what it felt like. Everything. No, we should talk to Leeloo about dreams. Definitely.
Someone wants to.
Yeah, we don't have any verification on how to spell Leeloo.
No, spell it any way you want. All we know about home that we got from them last night was how many were there, which was a community of over 700,000. Alex, the first guy we spoke to, said he was 7'9".
And had brown hair.
And that there are multiple teams working on different aspects of getting us home, that Leeloo actually put her team together.
Yeah.
She pulled them together. That it's only been 29 days for them since the invasion, that most of us have family there. Apparently, I have a 7-year-old daughter who's currently staying with a friend.
Because Leeloo's never not chosen to become corporal, to incarnate. Is that the right word? Leeloo, the
She only
reason why
woke up
Alex
in 2009.
she doesn't is because, sorry?
She only woke up in 2009. She didn't want to
Yeah.
incarnate, go through the forgetting and be a child at this point. No, it's only been 29 days, not years.
29 days there.
1987 was the last rewrite. We've stopped them from being able to do it again, and they know it. What else? How many years here? There was an astronomical number.
She gave us a number of, like, it's been 1,500,000 blarty days for us.
We've just been looping, yeah.
Yeah, we've just been looping.
You can have family here too.
Yeah.
No, can't post the conversation from yesterday, not all of it at all, because honestly, it went for like 8-10 hours or something, for one thing.
Yeah.
And because there was...
I've got 7 hours of it recorded.
We've told you everything that we can pass on. Some of it was intel that she had to make sure the lines were blocked for. No. They cannot. Can Leeloo and team jump into someone else's body and sort of channel? No. They're humans.
No.
And essentially, Leeloo is human, just not in a body yet. No, I wouldn't say that's a ruse. That's just Nathan's thing. I haven't asked her about that video again. She's been busy though, so I don't even know if she's had time to get to it. We never know when the next chat's going to be. The only reason that one happened the other day was because she said, I have a message. Can you please open a Zoom? And that was the message about the water, that she had reprogrammed it, but that Google had already started trying to rewrite it and undo her programming. So she wanted us to all work on our individual water, including the water in our bodies. Tracy, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Is CERN part of this construct? Everything's part of the construct.
It's part of this. Everything is part of the construct. Everything that is within this construct is part of the construct. And CERN is D-Wave is the stuff that they're trying to using D-Wave to try and do shit. And
just the thought intention, 100% unlock.
That's how to program the water.
Yeah, I honestly don't think you're a bot. I don't think anybody here is a bot, except for the people who know they're bots who are in here to
spy.
You're
If
probably
you're a spy and you're in here to spy,
a bot.
you might be a bot. Oh, I'm sure that'll get picked up and put out there too.
I don't know what else to say about it,
No.
other than just with your thoughts, your intention, talk to the water in your body and try and program it with the thought intent of 100% unlock. Do the same with the water that you drink, bathe in, all of that. Anyone got some bot big on?
Bot be gone. Do we have any bot spray?
Yeah.
Bot spray. That's what I'll invent. I'll invent a bot spray. What do you think? Is that a good idea?
Forgetting. Okay, I'll give you an example. And I can't believe I'm going to mention her name, but I'm going.
Oh, don't go there.
Really?
Don't go there. Just don't.
Okay.
Just don't.
Even some of the most fucked up individuals you know can be human.
Yep.
Just seriously damaged.
Hold on.
I got it.
Okay. No.
Sleepyheads.
No, this microphone's crap. That's why. When you move this, you can't hear it.
I'm trying to mute all and it's just not muting it.
Is it my fault?
Yeah. It's all right. We're trying to mute you, but it's not working. Have you got a mute button on your phone? Can you see it?
I'm on the computer. It just keeps showing a loading symbol, and it won't let me do anything.
Ah.
I'm trying.
Okay. Danny's muted.
Okay, what the heck?
Yeah, if you're human, you go home. Are you muted? You're muted.
I don't know if I'm muted. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Like literally, now my chat screen is in the middle of the screen and I can't see anything. I don't know what the fuck is.
Yes, the non-awake humans will go home too. She said that.
All humans.
She said, once we get there, we lose the whole veil thing of forgetfulness. Yeah. So even if they don't wake up until they get there, they'll wake up.
As soon as they get there, they're going to go, oh, fuck, that's what that was all about.
But the more that are awake, the quicker we get there.
Yeah.
I want a refund. Yeah, fuck me.
Yeah. Philip, I want a refund too. Fuck this shit, man. Seriously. This was not in the brochure. Just saying.
Will there be trauma from the remember? I didn't ask her that question specifically, but I kind of had this aha moment when we were talking for myself, which was like, imagine if this really is just 29 days, 30 days, a month later. And
Groundhog Day.
It's like, I feel like it's going to be like waking up from a dream and going, holy shit. And we won't be that attached to it. We'll lose our attachment to it. We can get freaked out by a really bad dream for a while.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the attachment to all of it will just go. No, I don't. I don't think it's going to hurt.
No. 29 days did not start in 1987.
Mm.
No. Anyways, I think, love, that we should like roll up the carpet now.
Okay.
All right. It's now 2.5 hours. It's 1:36 in the morning here.
Sure. Let's do it. Thank you, everybody. What if it's another psyop
That's what we just covered.
to make us want to leave the planet so the Dracos can have it?
They can fucking have it. Darling, they can fucking have it. I'll fucking gift wrap it for them, okay? Seriously, guys. Here's a bow. Bye. I'm out of here.
Either way, I haven't got to deal with them anymore. So all good on this front. See you guys.
Bye, everyone.